Fat Don, what it is, Jack?
What's happening?
Keep your bam bam strong. I know you've been putting it down.
Real talk.
And I know you're a real macaroni, Jack. Straight out the cheese box, you hear me? From the chairman of the board,
Kentucky, what up?
Don Magic Wall.
I'm a smooth operator, pass your bitch hot potato. I've been picking out my flavors for a weekend in Vegas. I've been giving out my pages in the evening on stages. I keep punching till I make it, I ain't going through phases. She call me Candy Man, she want me now and later. It's the aura and the essence, it ain't about no paper.
And we're back once again at the Big and Fat Show, where I'm Big Cozy. He's Fat Don.
What up?
What's up, Fat?
Shit, another Thursday night.
Because nobody's going to compete with you. I came to play today.
Nah,
I went with all I got. This is what I
the
got.
$6 gas
Yeah, the
joints, you gotta put them up.
they ain't $6, man. The Oakleys. I still put like a bill 50 for them.
Oh, really? What are they, Oakleys?
Yeah.
I've never been
Yeah, the
Oakley fan. I mean,
I got a weird face. I gotta have that weird nose wrap.
but the other thing, similarly, my head is extremely big, so there's only a few brands that actually make some shit I can fit. They have to be wide as a motherfucker. It's not gonna work. So, Master P really is the one that got me on the shades, but it was always Gucci and Versace. I've had some Dolce's. I've had some other brands, but almost my go-tos are going to be Versace's and then Gucci's. They just the sizes are weird. It's stupid, but I got a big ass head. That's what I'm saying. So Fat Don, Big Head Don, runs in my family.
I hear you. Well, I was going through the mail this week, and basically, I have not received any of my large, substantial winnings. And I don't know if that was on your part, where you just didn't send me my 15 bands, or we just didn't win it.
No, really, we've had some winners.
We're all over it, man. You're like, it's like throwing darts, and you're like, and then just, one beer, and then.
We gave out 3 races. We ran first and second in 2 of them. We ran first in the other one with a $40 horse, which if you'd have bet one like I tell you to, it clears your bets because that's $200.
Right.
But yeah, the first race we're first, second, and fourth, and it wasn't going to pay a lot. Honestly, it would have probably paid. The tribe would have probably been $75. It wasn't anything crazy because our long shot ran like shit. But then the next race, we got a horse that pays $40. That's a bomb. We had 2 other horses that were right there that just died at the end. It's just it's part of the game. But it's not like we're out here just fucking throwing turds. Now we did have a week about 2 weeks ago that it was absolutely terrible. But
that's going to happen.
We were in the mix. That's all you can do.
I was really curious. What really got you into racing?
See, it's like your old lady ordering from Amazon. Happening. You might have said no, she's still ordering. So I'm still playing. But kind of like what I told you. We used to go to the track all the time. Louisville Downs, which is no longer around, is a track I remember being at a lot. They had simulcast wagering, so you could bet anywhere from there. That was kind of a before its time type of thing. It's regular now to go to any track and be able to bet at other tracks. But that was so. I don't know. I was probably 5. And the way I see it now versus then, I didn't understand it. But we were at Louisville Downs, and my dad told me to pick a horse, and I picked. It was either the number 4 or the number 5, and regardless, My dad laughed. So that tells me that it was probably a 20, 30, 40 to 1, something crazy, a horse that didn't have a chance. But I felt like my old man was down on his luck, and he was like, fuck it, I'm going to ask my son what he's got because nothing I'm betting's working, you know. Well, anyways, he
Right.
bets those horses in a trifecta. It was the 1, 4, 5, and I either gave him the 4 or the 5. He had the other two. And my horse wins or runs second. But either way, after the race, my dad's fucking ecstatic. He's jumping up and down, and that was us, boy, So I'm hyped. My dad's hyped. Why wouldn't I be hyped? And I think,
Right.
we're
Right.
talking about 1981, and I think it was like a $300 trifecta. And I'm thinking back, man, he might have needed that. 381 was probably 1,000 now, I mean, so it
Right.
was like my dad was excited about it. I was excited about it. And then it was different. And then it was, who do I have every week? And then it was like, I picked names and numbers. I was just a little kid. But we were always at the track. There was no TVG, there was no
Right.
Twin Spires. You didn't have a fucking cell phone you could make a bet on. So you had to go to the track. So, like a lot of kids are gym rats. I was a gym rat. But I was also a track rat, so being at the track was 100% normal. Now I know my mother hated it, but eventually he really started teaching me the art of handicapping. So I had
Yeah.
the bug. I was bit early, and I mean, like, shit. My dad's the greatest handicapper there ever was. I'm the second.
Really.
I mean, you learn from the best. Like, I real deal got like 30 years in this shit. I'm only 45, like say that like confidently. Like since I was 15, I knew what the fuck was really going on. Like you had to look at my picks a little harder. I wasn't just giving you some bullshit and, the results reflected, So it's just been a
Yeah.
lifelong thing. I mean, I don't know if your dad took you to the fucking the bats games or whatever, or that's what we did every week. We were at the fucking track, baby. We were trying to make something shake, and that's that'll be forever as far as I'm concerned. We really, and my dad
I think my
the same
dad.
way. This is at least third generation because I didn't know my great grandpa. You know, so
Yeah.
it's at least third generation of like high level handicapping. It's like if your family's,
Yeah. My
this
pet.
is
My
what we do.
my pops never took me to the track. I don't think I've ever seen him play the horses.
I mean, it's kind of frowned upon.
A lot of poker. A lot of poker. Him and my
Kid
grandpa. A lot of
introducing
poker.
your kids to that's very frowned upon. My mom's super conservative. Like I
Yeah.
know she hated it, and then then she was like, "Damn," and he really loves it too. So that made it work.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like all at the same time, she knows I've done well over the years. You know, I mean, it ain't like we're
Right.
we're gambling the mortgage.
Right. Well, where are we playing this week?
We're back at Churchill. Um, I'm a man that likes short,
Redemption.
and they have two very competitive uh, short races, and that's what I think I'm best at. And because it's Father's,
What's the advantage? What do you think's the advantage of the short race?
I don't know. You got to try to visualize how the race is going to set up. You've got to. That's what you see in their past performances. It's like, okay, this horse when he wins, he's got to be within 3 lengths. So he likes to sit just off the pace. If you're within 3 lengths, you're in the second pack. Okay, so the horse wants to sit just off, and when the speed gets tired, he can make a little move, and it can be enough to win. You just and then how much speed is there? Is there only one speed horse? I mean, you've got to like when you're watching the Derby, they'll show a simulation of how they think the race is going to play out. That's exactly what you have to do with this. You have to be able to visualize. You have to be able to look at the times, you know, that's ran at that particular distance of the race, and all the horses, you know, and where they're going to be at based on how fast you think the fastest horses in this race are going to go. Okay, so that puts this horse 5 lengths back. That, you know, and okay, you know, can this horse get this distance going as fast as he can, or is he going to get tired? You know, I mean, it's so you got to kind of visualize it. And what you can't visualize is, you know, a horse stumbling out of the gate, you know, being bumped out of the gate, being checked or steadied, which means, you know, somebody probably cut them off and they had to completely, you know, pull up on the reins. So they've lost their momentum, you know, and it's like, you know, you get going fast on the highway and then some asshole pulls out in front of you doing 30 and you got to, you know, pause a little bit and switch lanes, you know, so they lose their momentum, and some can regain it, and some are just, you know, kind of one track ponies. Like they're not fast out the gate, but consistently they keep the same speed. Whereas a speed horse may go out and shoot his wad early, you know, because all he can do is win on the front, you know. So, you know, those horses that sit second pack, maybe they have more stamina than the horses on the lead. So all shit you got to kind of visualize, but there's so many variables that you just throw out. I mean, that you know, I mean, you know, unfortunately horses can get hurt, you know, and that they don't give you your money back. And, you know, I mean, shit happens. A jockey falls off, you know, I mean, it's just, there's so many like just weird variables that you can't, like, you got to say, you know, 7 out of 10 times that this race is going to run this way. You know, I think you could have ran the Derby 10 times, and that's the only time Rich Strike would have won. I'm a hater, whatever it is.
Right.
I mean, he threw a turd in the Belmont, and that's, you know, no hate. I mean, you ran the greatest race of your life and the greatest race of all. Like, you know, but you pitched a turd in the Belmont. You didn't show up at all. You know, but it is what it is. I thought that would solidify the horse is the real deal. You know, now they bring Rich Strike back again and he loses again. It kind of takes away from the Derby a little bit. Like, you know, that horse, you know, he just, sometimes you run those freak races, and that's something that I'll tell people time handicapping. If I see one really, really fast time and the horse never does that ever again, I almost don't even consider it. I'm looking for what this horse does every fucking time. And if he runs out of his mind one time and it beats me, okay. But if, you know, 4 of 5 times his speed is this number, but one time he's way faster than that, I'm not taking, you know, I'm just taking it that he had a hell of a day that day. You know, that's it. You know, and if he runs back to that and I don't pick him, that's on me. But I'd rather go with what I've seen this horse do 3 or 4 times versus once. You know, and that may be the case with Rich Strike. But anyways, tonight we're playing Saturday at Churchill, race number 6. Since it's Father's Day weekend, I will also be giving out my dad's picks. But the first race we're playing at Churchill Saturday is the 6th. It's a 6.5 furlong starter allowance for 10,000. It's a little bit of a cheap race, but it had a 9-horse field, and that interested me. So my top selection is the number 2 Say Out at 5-1, 2 for 2 at Churchill Downs, 4 wins and 6 starts at the distance. So likes Churchill, 4 wins and 6 starts at the distance, likes the distance, is in good form, will be closer on the lead. My second selection is number 6 Crime Spree at 6-1. Ran second by a neck in most recent effort at Churchill. 3 wide game, likes to sit 2-3 lengths off the lead and pick them up late. My third selection is number 5 Eagle Pass at 8-1. some horses, and this is the case with this horse, every other race they'll run good, and the opposite race they'll run bad. This horse, for like the last 8 races, it's ran good every other race. Well, last race was the race he ran like shit. And the race before, I think he won or ran second. Um, and Eagle Pass is a big closer, and there's a lot of pace or speed in this race, so there'll be something to run at. And then my fourth choice is the number 1, Thirsty Betrayal, which I'm extremely thirsty right now myself. At 3-1, won a 7 furlong race last out against the number 6 Crime Spree and the number 5 Eagle Pass. 6 of 8 in the money at Churchill. So that means out of 8 races, the horse has been first, second, or third. But in this case, 3 wins in 3 seconds. Drawing the rail after being wide in most of his previous races. That's an angle that I love. But I think 3-1 is a second choice. So we don't have the favorite. That's going to give us some money. Just throwing the favorite out completely. But I mean, it could pay decent. But anyways, to recap, my picks are number 2, number 6, number 5, and number 1 in the 6th race at Churchill. Now, my dad, we are similar on 3 of our selections. His top choice is the 6 Crime Spree. His second selection is the favorite, and that is the number 8 Beverly Park at 2-1. I really didn't like that horse at all, but wouldn't surprise me, obviously. And then the number 1 Thirsty Betrayal at 3-1, and the number 2, my top selection, Sayao at 5-1. So we've got 3 mutual picks. So if you just want to play me and my dad's picks, play the 1, 2, 6, and that'll probably hit actually. Yeah, and I mean really for a trifecta, even if the 8 won. No, we're not having the 8, the 1, 2, and 6. Yeah, that would pay pretty good because we're eliminating the favorite. That would probably pay $200 minimum. Anyways, the second race we are playing is the 11th. It's a 5.5 furlong maiden special weight, 120,000. So the last race we did was 10,000. This race is 120,000. Maidens are horses that have never won, and for 120,000, these are some really good horses. My top selection is the number 7 Classic Coin at 5-1. Stumbled start in most recent effort, going 7 furlongs. Showed good speed 2 back, going a mile, and gave it up late. Might go wire to wire here. Last race was basically a throwout. I believe this horse is the speed of the speed. I love when a horse is shortening up. She went 7 furlongs last out. She's shortening up a furlong and a half, going 5.5. The race before, she led 3/4 of the race, going a mile. So, I mean, she can definitely go wire to wire here. My second selection is the number 2 Landed Gentry at 6-1. This will be her first start since November, where she had trouble shortening up from a mile and 16th. Again, I like to see a horse shorten up at a good price, and again, is the case with the 2. My third selection is number 8 Royal Flower at 7-2. Shown speed in both of her only 2 lifetime starts. She's also shortening up from 6.5 furlongs. We'll be close to or on the lead early. Steve Asmussen and Julian Leparoux. Best connections in the race, I would say. And then the horse that I think could be a little bit of a sleeper is the number 10, my 4th selection, Lady Pete at 5-1. Closed nicely and only started Keeneland on the turf. That was back in April. Tons of speed here. She might fall at the wire. Turf to Dirt is it's a very well-known angle. This being her only second lifetime start. Plus, you're running at Keeneland. Keeneland's meets are like 3 weeks, which is insane. But they have nothing but top-notch racing. So that horse wasn't going down there and running against bullshit company. I know it was a 90,000 maiden special weight. So same company, been laid up since April, so she's fresh. Turf to Dirt. There's a lot of pros in her past performances. And on to my dad's selection. His top selection is the number 10, Lady Pete. And I think probably the most dangerous horse in the race, just because she's really the only horse that's shown that she can close. Everybody else looks like they just want to go to the front. My dad's second selection, who I don't have, is the number 9 Broadway Blaze at 6-1. Joe Talamo aboard. His third selection is the number 8 Royal Flower at 7-2. And his fourth selection is the number 6 Repealing. And I can say Repealing was the last horse that I threw out, which is good because a lot of times me and my dad do combine our picks separately as well as play our own selections. So sometimes I bail him out and sometimes he does me the same. So to recap, my selections are 7-2, 8-10 in the 11th, and my dad's are 10-9, 8-6.
I think I'm going to go with you on the 11th race and your dad on the 6th.
Well, from a return perspective, I would tell you to go with 6.
I know you.
And him in the 11th. I mean, if it's just about the money, because my horses will return more in the 6th. His will return more in the 11th. But maybe you should just play both and quit being a pussy.
It's
right.
Day,
You just.
I gotta be a dick.
Yeah, I do. So
it's the same.
But yeah, let's get.
Do anything special? Do anything special on Father's Day?
I'll be working, which is super special.
What? Yeah, sucks.
Yeah, I work on Monday, so it's kind of what it is. But I plan on Saturday hanging out with my dad, playing this card. We will be playing considerably more races than the 2 that we gave out. But I would love to get across for anybody that might play the selections. That would be dope. It's coming.
I'm looking forward to it, brother. I really am. I just can't wait for the people to see you hit a couple weeks in a row. Just bangers. So I know what's coming.
Because you get hot. Well, we've been getting close. But getting close doesn't pay shit. So, we got to get across and show the proofs in the pudding.
Well, good luck to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
I will be putting my money down.
Yeah, I guess we'll be back next week.
Make sure y'all subscribe. Leave a comment. Something.
Man.
Tell him his beard's ugly. I don't know. Something.
Drop your selections in the comments. You ain't got shades nicer than mine. And that's it.
Okay. All right, bro.
I got flavors for your blunts like it's BW3s. What you make in a month, I spend that in a week. I go and take what I want, you be asking for cheese. Your game based on front, she be asking for me. Like Fat Dom, where you going at after this? Pouring sham, rolling up, couple blunts I kiss. I might hit the stew, might be bagging a piff. For spending time with you, probably last on my list. Cause money and music is all I know. If I ain't getting to it, I must have a show. If you see me driving fast, then straight to the dough. And if you see me driving slow, might be hauling a load. In this game, I'm a pro, but I'm still in the G League. If I ever hit the road, I'ma win me a 3-peat. And when I make it home, hope you're happy to see me. I'm still working on my goals, I'm just happy to be me. I ain't switched up for $1 or nothing. Been a couple years now, I'm finally buzzing. At first you was laughing, now you calling me cousin. Made it seem like you was around, but you actually wasn't.
First you was laughing, now you calling me cousin. Made it seem like you was around, but you actually wasn't. Made it seem like you were around, but you actually wasn't. What was?